Pittsburgh Steelers fans, welcome back to Blitzburg Squad. I'm Wesley Seeley, joined alongside Shane Smith. And the Steelers lose to the Bengals.
Doesn't get much worse than
Steelers
this, right?
lose again, and it was at home. What was the final score, 24-10?
24-10. I was
Yeah.
at the game. It was...
Yeah, you were at this one, too. You're supposed to bring us some good luck here, bud.
I know. I'm sure it was more fun at the game than at home, but it still wasn't fun.
No, not
Shocker
when
to
it's like
nobody.
that.
No.
If they would have lost a close one, it would have been a little different for you.
Yeah. At least it would have been exciting. So why don't we just dive right into
Let's
the
just
offense?
dive right in. Head first, man. I'm good
Yeah.
with it. Head first right into a concrete wall.
Do something the Steelers normally don't do. And
Win.
whoa.
Oh, man, we're spoiled, I know. Yeah, let's talk about the offense. You want to talk about the offense? Shall
Yep.
we? I mean,
Yep.
I know you don't want to, but we have to, so
So
let's roll.
bright spot of the day, Najee,
for sure.
14 for 102.
14 receptions, 102.
Yeah.
What do you have, like, how many carries did he have?
Good question.
He had 14 carries, too, for 40 yards, though.
Yes. So he had 28 total touches for 142 yards.
Yep.
Not horrible. Chase had 9 catches, like 96 yards or something, so he did pretty good. And then other than that, it looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
Offensive line continues to be the biggest problem. And unfortunately, I think until further notice will be the biggest issue.
Yeah.
They look bad.
They're horrible, man. They've got to be the worst in the league. Like, I don't think there's any question about it.
No way that they're not. If they aren't, the Jets are the only team that's worse than us.
I haven't really watched much of the Jets, so
Jets look
bad.
They got shut out today. But I mean, we're on that level because it leads to us being dink dunk offense and not being able to do anything.
Right.
And it's just Banner coming back. That's great. I think immediately he becomes our best lineman, and I still don't think he's great.
Hope so.
But it's something. Just some sort of change. Maybe he'll light the fire. I don't know who will. I don't know if it's that these new young punks just think that they'll, be able to do whatever and it'll just be fine. I don't know what it is, but it's ridiculous at this point.
I don't even know if Mike Munchak could save this.
I don't know, but you see his offensive line's doing really good over in Broncos land.
Yeah, maybe.
Funny
Maybe.
how that works, huh?
Maybe you would then.
And then, I don't know. It's at the point where I'm like, okay, we know the offensive line's a problem.
It's bad.
I'm just ready to move on until I have something positive to talk about.
Yeah.
Because they're just that bad.
Right, we're probably going to sound like broken records. Just
Week in, week out.
Right, yeah. Next game recap, we're going to be like, oh, offensive line still sucks. I mean, okay, yep. Until something gets changed, yeah, we're probably going to keep harping on that because that's a pretty big part of what you can do on offense.
Yeah, that causes a lot of issues. Ben got sacked 4 times, got hit at least 7, so doesn't help. And then there's Ben himself who didn't look great.
Right, he doesn't compliment. I guess if you can compliment that bad of a line, he doesn't do any complimenting to it.
As a 39-year-old, my wife at one point was like, "Hey, why doesn't Ben try to get rid of it or try to scramble out or something?" And I was like, "Cause he's old.
Because he can't move.
He couldn't move when he was young, let alone trying to make him move when he's old."
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
it's just.
Yeah, Ben threw 2 picks in this game. One kind of got tipped, and it was just acrobatic play by the one linebacker. But the second one to the same linebacker,
just right to him,
was bad. Yeah, I mean, I think it was in triple coverage anyways, and the guy was right in front of him the whole time. I just don't think Ben ever saw him. But it's that was a bad looking pass, bad looking pick.
Yeah, overthrew a couple of guys.
Yeah.
And it's one of those where it's like, okay, were the guys running their full speed? Did they expect to get it? Could they have put their burners on a little more?
Yeah.
And then, I hear a lot of people complaining about, Ben overthrowing. But then on hindsight, if Ben would have shortened it up a little bit to try and put it more on the money and it would have got picked, would you guys have been complaining as well?
Yeah.
So it's kind of, there's no win-win for Ben, unfortunately, and
No.
a lot of people are calling for his head.
Right, and it's not that I want to try to back him up or come to his defense, but I just want to know what other QB would be okay behind that line. Like
Not very many. Honestly,
I understand he's not great. He's not playing great, but the line is not doing him any favors.
there's only one quarterback in the league that I think could have, maybe two in the league that could have potential. And I take a guess because I'm sure you're thinking of one, and I bet you it's not the one. Because it's not Mahomes.
It's not Mahomes? Okay.
Not Mahomes.
Brady?
Nope.
Kyler
Murray and Lamar Jackson.
Just speedy guys.
Just because they can run for their lives and get away from it. Those are the only two that I think could have, maybe not success, but could survive. Because I think just about everybody else would get killed.
Yeah.
Just like what's happening to ours.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And it doesn't matter if it's Ben, if it's Mason, if it's Dwayne, if it's Cam,
I don't think it would matter at this point. It's like I do understand though, like on the facet of Ben not playing very well. He's not playing very well. But it's also, you've got to take into account of he's being pressured every play. So the ball's got to get out of his hand faster than he'd probably like. So that's inaccurate throws. He's also not able to go through as many reads as possible because he's getting pressured 2 or 3 seconds into his drop back.
Yep.
The recipe for success it doesn't add up. We don't have the ingredients to have the recipe for success, basically, because of the line.
Yeah, it's gone bad, and Canada seems to be throwing the same exact offense with just a couple of different looks at it. And whether that's because of the line or if he's still trying to implement his stuff a little bit more, that's yet to be seen. It's still early on, so I don't know if it's time to press the panic button yet, but it's getting close.
It's just not looking great. Like it's almost looking like it's not just like we think in the past, like of our line, we might have one tackle that's like, Villanueva, he's not doing too great. He's kind of getting beat by some speedy edge rushers. That's just one guy. It's like our whole line though as a group.
Oh, yeah.
Every single one just
if this guy actually plays this time, now this guy's not.
Yeah.
It's, they're not working as a cohesive unit, and they're looking
So I'm with you. It's like
green.
Maybe it's not time to hit the panic button, but it's pretty darn close.
It's very close.
This was a big time.
Typically 4 games in, you know what you're getting for the season. We're at game 3 of 4. Next week's the Packers.
Yep.
So
and the 2, I don't think we mentioned this yet, but points scored. The games we've played, 23 against the Bills, 16 were offensively since we had the 7 on the block punt return.
Yep.
16 against Raiders, and then 10 today.
Yep.
That's bad. That's
Keeps
really bad.
Going down.
Really offensively haven't cracked 20.
Yeah. No, not at all.
20 plus.
And with all that being said, what do you give our offense?
F.
Just straight F?
F. Yeah, sure.
Okay. I give it F with about infinity minuses.
Couple minus.
Like, it just looks so bad.
It's really bad.
I keep saying I don't know how it can get worse, and then it finds a way to get worse.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
They will continue to be on my crap list until further notice.
I think last week we did MVPs, LVPs, whatever.
Yeah. There's no MVPs.
There's definitely no MVPs on offense.
Najee is the MVP if we had to choose.
Okay, bright spot, yeah.
The one bright spot. However, instead of doing MVPs, even when we lose, we're doing LVPs when we lose and MVPs when we win. So who's your least valuable?
I guess I think I took Ben last time, so I'll do offensive line this time as just a unit LVP. Just they can just share the award.
Yeah, I mean that's enough said. It's between 2. It's between Ben, but I'm not gonna go with him just because the other one makes me a little irritated.
Okay.
It's Mr. Ebron.
Yeah.
Bench him. I don't think he caught a pass all day, and there was a couple that hit him directly on the hands or directly where a person should catch it, and he was just dropping them.
Yeah.
He has become worthless.
Mm-hmm.
So he's least valuable, needs benched. Gentry needs put in above him.
Oof. Yeah.
Maybe Watt as a tight end. Derek Watt.
There you go. Now we're talking.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But anyways, on to our defense.
Defense doesn't get much better.
Nope. There was no TJ, no Alulu, no Tuitt, no
Highsmith. Got Hayden Bush back, though.
Yep. Hayden's old.
They didn't make too much of an impact, though, today.
Nope.
Nobody really did. Edmonds had a
pick,
an interception that was tipped by Minka.
First one of the year, I think.
Yeah, the first interception of the year for us.
Good job, Terrell.
And really, just kind of fell flat again. I think Butler came into this one almost like he's done the past 2 games. Let's just rush our front 4 guys. Let's rush the outside backers or front 4, front 5. Rush Hayward, Bugs, who else? Wormley, those guys, and let's just see if we can get to the quarterback with these guys. Drop everybody else back. Schobert, Bush, you drop back in coverage, take running backs, whatever. And it's just not cutting it because you're without Watt, you're without Highsmith, you're without Tuitt, you're without your main guys that can win those one-on-one battles. Yep. And these guys, like, obviously Wormley's no scrub, but like Mondo, Bugs, like,
yeah.
Are those guys? I mean, who was the guy? Who was the number 48? Had a Z in his name, like
T'Souza.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Like that.
He looked fine. He played like he seemed like high motor.
Squad,
but exactly. Like he's not gonna win your one-on-ones every play like those other guys can. So at that point, I feel like you got to bring more blitz, and they just felt flat. I mean, we missed our mark 75 games straight of getting a sack, and we didn't get it today. So that streak ends, which is a really impressive streak. That's insane.
It was wonderful to see and sad to see broken.
Yeah, and just no pass rush today. I was just disappointed, I think, with that mostly.
Yeah, very disappointed with how we performed overall. And, the Steelers are called Blitzburg for a reason, hence why we're called the Blitzburg Squad.
Yeah.
And apparently Keith Butler forgot about that, and he's like, nah, Blitzburg, that's never a thing. Like, he just...
Yeah, you're right.
He doesn't like to do it, and it shows.
You're right.
And... It's just, I don't know. There was not enough pressure, and because of that, Pierre got beat by Chase for a 34-yarder. Yeah. Hayden got beat for a 9-yarder by Chase. Tyler Boyd, we tried to lay the boom down instead of just making the tackle.
Yeah.
That led to a touchdown. It was just stupid play after stupid play, and it all stems because of how our defense is from the blitz. You got to blitz. You got to hit the quarterback, because then it affects the whole rest of your team. And, our defense goes from looking okay to looking bad.
Yep, agreed.
And just getting torn apart.
It's so much our concentration for defense is towards our pass rush. It's not like we put a ton of money really into our secondary.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like we've put all of our picks and is up in our linebackers, and all of our money's up in front guys. So it's like, those are our money makers. Those are the dudes that make it happen and make it easier for our secondary. And with the guys that we've got out, it ain't gonna happen. So
no, not very well. So what would you say your
grade?
Yep,
grade for the defense. I'll give him I don't know. Let's give him a D+. You gave up 24 points. A long one to Chase, a stupid one, like you said, to Boyd when trying to just drill him rather than wrap him up. Could have been prevented.
Did get the pick,
but
and we only allowed 268 yards of offense.
Yeah, I mean, and that's great, but it's like, I don't know.
You gotta limit the points, even when your offense puts you in a bad situation. You gotta limit the points.
And I understand. Like, I love TJ. He's a big difference maker, Highsmith, high motor guy. But without those two guys and even Tuitt, like, we should still be able to get some sort of pressure. And we got a little bit in the first quarter, but it just died off for the rest of the game, I felt like, and just was never a sense of issue for Burrow at all for the whole game, really.
Right.
So.
Yep. Nope. I agree.
About you?
For that, I'm gonna go with just a flat D.
Flat D. Okay.
I'll be the meanie.
All right. Yeah. Meanie pants. What about an LVP?
LVP.
Let's hear it.
So mine is going to be, it's between the middle linebackers. The one I'll give whatever because he's coming back from injury, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to give it to Schobert. Just because he seems lost in our defense in the aspect of when he played for the Browns. The Browns were not a good team. He pretty much led them every year in tackles. the ball always seemed to find his way where he got picks or a fumble recovery or something like that. He always seemed to make a splash play for a bad team. And then he goes, signs with the Jags, and the Jags, again, bad team. He led the team in tackles. I believe he got a couple of picks last year. And, same thing. He seemed to make those splash plays that were needed. And he just hasn't. The coaches trusted him to give the headset to, call the plays, all of that. And I know we're probably dropping him back more than any other team has, but he seems like he's still trying to find himself in our defense. And because of that, he's just not making those plays I'm used to seeing him make. And so it's just kind of been lackadaisical with him.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. We haven't seen too much out of him in the 3 games, really, that he's played. And hopefully, some of that will equate to more success for him on the defense with like getting guys back like TJ and Highsmith into it to add to that pressure and
add health.
Add some more opportunistic plays for him, maybe tip balls or whatever it might be, or fumbles, anything like that. So hopefully that will just come with time too. Because remember, people said that about Minka too last year. Was like, where's Minka? Where's Minka? And then he got the pick six of Baker, and it was like, oh, there's Minka. So hopefully he'll find his way, and maybe he'll start to get a little bit more comfortable with the defensive playbook too. So. Mine, I know I'd kind of harped on it. I was going to go with the unit again. It was just backers and pass rush, I guess, interior linemen. I was just disappointed that they couldn't get very much rush going basically all day. And I understand you're missing some key guys, but like still find a way. And maybe it was on our DC, but I just feel like Butler could have maybe done some more blitzes or thrown something in. Like we used to always blitz with Hilton off the edge, and we haven't seen that at all.
Not at all.
And I just think we could do that with that Arthur Mollett or something like that. You know what I mean? Some guy that can come in and make some tackles. But anyways, I was just kind of disappointed with the pass rush, so I would just give it to that group there.
Yep.
Special teams.
Not great, not horrible. Harvin, I think, looked pretty good, for a rookie, even though punting's not a horrible job, it still takes its toll. And I think after that one shank, he started to look better and has been more consistent. Yeah, better than Barry. That's what I'm asking for.
We still like him better than Barry.
And I mean, on TV and that, you can see he's thick, but like being there at the game, like he's thick, and I love every bit of it. I really enjoy watching him punt and stuff. It's kind of sad when you're at the game that's one of the highlights is watching your punter actually punt. So it's fun to see that.
No shanks from him. He's looked pretty solid.
Yeah. At least the last couple of games.
Yep.
So hopefully that continues.
Yep, agreed.
And then, our typical
automatic Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Missed one.
What's up with that, man?
So
42-yarder, I think, something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines. I mean, he did hit another extra point and field goal. But it was on the open end, and during halftime when I was watching him practice, he was struggling from almost that exact distance. Might have been like 45, but it was almost right
pretty
on
close,
the money, right on the same hash. Like, it was one of those that whenever I seen him line up there, I was like, ugh, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And, I was the one that when it went up, I was like, oh, it looked good from my angle. And so I was like, hey, good job, and then they're like, no good. And I'm like, oh, hey.
Oh, crap.
I look like an idiot now, kind of thing. But, yeah, it was rare to see him miss that.
Yeah.
So
that was a bummer.
I mean, he rebounded on the other end of the field, but at the same time, it's something that you want to see fixed and corrected.
Yeah. Yeah, that could, potentially. I mean, maybe, obviously, looking at it now, it wouldn't have changed the outcome of the game, but potentially in that moment, it would have sparked something for the offense or defense
possibly
to get something going. So you never know.
Because, I mean, at that point, it would have been 24-13.
Yeah.
In essence, if we would have made that.
Or maybe it doesn't even give you a spark. It just deflates you if he doesn't make it. Like, I felt like it was just when he missed it, it was just, like, so deflating because their drive took forever. It was like 8 or 9 minutes just to miss a field goal or just to get a field goal at the one point. It was just like, it's just deflating.
I mean, honestly, that made a huge difference because you miss that, then you make the other one, so then it's 24-10 instead of 24-13.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a 4th and 10 that you call a bad call on.
Right.
Where otherwise you could have, again, kicked a field goal, been down 24-16,
Mm-hmm.
and then at that point it's a one-possession game.
Yep.
And so that completely changes the dictation of the game.
Yeah.
And your play calls and what's going on, and, your worry, your rush, your, let's get this and try to bring it home kind of thing.
No, I agree, man. I'm with you. My grade for special teams is probably C+. Boswell missed the one. PH3 really didn't have any botched punts, which is great. And McLeod didn't fumble on any punts. Really didn't do anything special, but didn't fumble, I guess. So
nothing special. Felt electric at the game, but I mean nothing special.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would go C range. I'm gonna go C- on it. So
fair enough.
Nothing great. Just overall bad game.
Yeah.
Bad day at the office.
It was, man. Just a poor performance all around. I mean, nobody did anything super flashy, super great. Like we said, Najee was the workhorse, but he got fed 14 catches. He had 19 pass attempts to him.
Yep.
14 carries. Like, that's a ton.
That is.
Poor guy was getting, pummeled out there. He's getting hit so hard. I was like, oh, he is not going to make it through this season. We're going to kill this poor guy.
Yeah, got all the talent in the world, and got to know how to use it in order to have success for it. Yeah. So,
yeah,
hopefully we can change that around. We'll kind of see how that one goes. But
yeah, I mean, biggest thing, man, is offensive line, offensive woes. I mean, I think the defense will be okay. We get Watt back, get Highsmith back, get Tua back. I think we'll be okay on defense. I think they'll do their thing just like they did last year and the year before. I think they'll be fine. But obviously the main concern is, will Ben be okay? Will the offensive line figure it out? Will they make some changes to the offensive line? Will the front office go out and get somebody that's a free agent tackle or something like that to just shift it up and make something happen? I don't know, but something needs to be.
That it's not going well.
Yeah, at this point, it can't go any worse, I wouldn't think.
I wouldn't think either.
That's a bad starting lineup, but. Anyways, I won't keep ranting. You got anything else to add to this?
Yeah, I'm going to rant now. So being at the game, listen, Yinzers, I understand. When the game's going bad, you get a little cranky. Y'all don't need to be D-bags about it, though. There was one point where Bengals player got hurt. He was kind of limping off, and I watched a guy stand up, cheer, and, clap because the guy was injured and hobbling off the field. Get it. You're frustrated at that point, but at the same time, you got to show some class. And then, there was all these guys that were just, cussing, swearing, throwing fits, acting like children about this. And, with the game that we went to, there was another family with us and a little girl, first Steelers game, and, she had to deal with all of this stuff of, not a win, but at the same time, her first football game, and us just I don't know, us just not being how we should be. And I don't know, I just felt it was very uncalled for, and I was ashamed to be a Yinzer down there today. It was one of those where it was it's just uncalled for, guys. And think about the Browns. The Browns for the longest time were real bad, and their fans stuck by them all the time. And sure, they were used to a revolving carousel ride, but I didn't hear them complain about fire this, fire that. More often than not, I was give them a chance. Let them, give this, get that. We're the complete opposite. We act like big babies.
Yep.
Over it.
Represent yourself better, Steelers fans. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
D-bags.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Bengals fans there were better than you guys.
Yikes.
I know.
Ouch. That one hit where it hurts.
I know it did.
Well, I don't have anything else to add now.
No, we play the Packers next week. We'll see how that is. It's up in Lambeau. We're very excited to talk about that one.
Oh, yeah.
Might, half the team may be on IR.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be something.
I am super pumped to talk about that game.
We might get a couple of guys back that we need.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
A few guys back.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we'll lose that many more. But
hopefully it'll be a little bit more energetic, a little bit more positive come our preview for the Packers game this week. ain't looking too hot so far, Steelers fans. So
nope, another downer.
Another downer. Yep, another loss. So here we go. I guess, man, go Steelers.
Go Steelers, best as we can.